Monday. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Okay. I'm back, y'all. I'm here. Happy Monday. I pray that you had a fantastic day. I pray that you are well. I pray that your families are well. Look, I pray that you made the most of your day. I pray, okay, we're going to take that off. I pray that you started your day off phenomenally, right? Good evening and welcome to Transformational Mondays. I am Dr. JaNee Mobley. I'm affectionately known as Dr. JaNee, and I help women turn their purpose into a profitable business, all while overcoming mindsets that will prevent profit, progress, and prosperity. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel here on YouTube. Thank you for joining me for Transformational Mondays. And for those of you all who are new to Transformational Mondays, make sure you put a 1 in the comments. If you're not new, make sure you put a 2. Either way, I'm so grateful that you're here. You may be asking yourself, okay, Dr. JaNee, what is Transformational Mondays? Well, as a believer of Jesus Christ, one of the scriptures, well, the scripture that I base this particular live and this event off of is the scripture that tells us to be ye transformed by the renewing of our mind. So transformation, when we look at that definition, it tells us that transformation basically means to change. And one of the things that I truly understand about being a believer, a blood-bought believer of Jesus Christ, is that we are encouraged, we are challenged, and I believe we are more so mandated to never be the same as who we were when we encountered and experienced the love of God. So Transformational Mondays is all about you receiving, obtaining tips for your life and for your business that will ultimately change your mindset, change your lineage, get you the results that you desire and what God desires for your life. As you all come in, make sure you, if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. Also, the link below is my free gift to you, which are the 5 mistakes that women make that prevent them from profiting from their purpose. Yes. So thank you all for joining me. If you haven't already, Fun Shorts 344, welcome. Good evening. This is my first time actually seeing your name, so welcome. And if this is not your first time visiting my channel, welcome back. I'm so grateful for you all and also for you joining me. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to go ahead and get started. So tonight we're going to talk about, I want to speak to the individuals, the people who have once started a project, an idea, a business, or even if, and this, here's the thing, what I'm going to share tonight will help you in your finances. It will help you in your health. I'll just really be focused on those of you all, good evening, those of you all who are seeking to profit from the very gift that God has given you, right? And to be of service to others. So if you have ever struggled with maintaining momentum in building your business, like you have a habit of starting and stopping, right? You start the book, you start writing the book, and then you stop, or you finish writing the book, and then you done got to the place where you just have not published a book, or you started the business plans, got the idea for the business, started some things up, got excited for just a minute, and then maybe somebody said something negative, or you got distracted by life, and then you put the book down, you put the business down, and you just have not gotten the courage to get back up and continue doing what you started. Tonight's live is for you. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So I'm going to share with you all, and I promise you all, I'm not going to be long. Um, so you a Baptist or a therapist? Neither. I'm a believer of Jesus Christ. Okay. And the doctor part, because I see like people are wondering, okay, where the doctor part comes from. So I'm a doctor. I have a PharmD, which is a doctorate of pharmacy. I graduated from the amazing Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University. So I am a pharmacist by career and by degree. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started, and I'm going to share, and I know I've said that like 10 times, but it also serves like as a basis for me to make sure I get back on track. Because one thing about being live, it can be very, I'm going to be honest, it can be very distracting because while you are sharing content, there are people who are asking viable questions, and then there are those who serve as a distraction. So tonight I'm going to share with you all 3 ways that you can boost your momentum once you have lost it. Once you have lost your, I got tongue tied. Once you have lost your momentum, how do you get back? How do I get back writing the book and the excitement for writing the book when I lost it, right? How do I get back, pursuing and building my business once I lost that urge, once I lost that excitement, once life happened, once this happened? How do I get started and continue? And here's the perspective that I want you all to have. I want you to think about, the title is a subtitle. Hi, Connor. So I want you to consider this. I want you to think about, and here's one of the things that I think about. I'm going to be focused on people who want to build business. I know you are. It's totally fine. Who want to build a business. So this is why I'm going to focus. I'm going to say this. A lot of the times we lose momentum, right? And people who lose momentum for building their businesses for whatever reason. But here's the thing. Nothing stops, especially if it has been ingrained in you to get up and go to work. You don't stop going to work. Now, some people may, but majority of people do not stop going to work even if they don't feel like it. They may take a day off. They may take a vacation. They may call in and play sick, right? They may take a personal day. They may go on leave. They may take what my former coworker used to say, a mental day. You may take FMLA, but you don't necessarily quit your job. You don't necessarily stop working without knowing you have a way to pay your bills. So when it comes down to your purpose, I dare you to shift your perspective and the very thing that you know God has called and created you to do. Good evening, you all. Come on in. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel and share this live, right? So I'm going to share with you all 3 strategies, 3 ways that I personally have learned to boost my momentum, rebuild my momentum, because I too was the one who started my business and stopped. I too was the one who had the excitement, said that this is what I was going to do, and got distracted, got discouraged, got caught up in whatever was going on, and I dropped my business by the wayside. So the things that I'm going to share with you all are the very things that help me to get myself back together. And the very thing, the latter one, make sure you stay here on this live, because the last tip is fire. Okay. So number 1, in order for you to rebuild, restore, reboost your momentum after you have started, and I have my notes right here so I can stay on task, is the first thing is you got to understand the power of momentum, right? And here's the thing. I am so excited. Let me push this back a little bit. Right. Momentum is a very, very powerful tool that works for you. So per definition, momentum by definition, this is according to Webster, is the strength or force that is gained by a series of events. I'm going to say that again. I think I misstated one part of it. But momentum, according to Webster, is the strength or force. So it's either strength or force. So strength, we know we use our muscles, right? We know force, we're pushing things and we're still moving our muscles. Hold on a second, Connor, right? And it's gained. How is momentum gained? How is this strength gained? It's gained by motion, number one, or by a series of events. So, momentum, by definition, just showing you an illustration, is your strength or force that is gained by moving some type of motion, or it is gained by a series of events. So let's put this into perspective. If you are thinking about, let's say, exercising, right? If you're thinking about exercising, the first day that you exercise, if you haven't exercised either in a long time or never before, you're going to be tired. You're going to be huffing and puffing, right? But the more you continue to walk, the more you continue to run, if that's what you're going to do, the more you continue to jog, the more those series of events, the more that motion and that movement are all going to come together and work for you. Okay, so what should you understand about momentum? And I'm so excited about this because this is something that I wish that I had an understanding and a comprehension of when I first started my business, when I first started walking in my purpose. Because I promise you, once you understand the power of momentum, it'll make you question whether you're gonna stop. Whether you have, if you have that history of starting and stopping, once you understand how momentum works, it'll be the very thing that will keep you going, right? So here's the thing. And Connor said, understanding it. So, it is so is momentum kind of like the gears of a car? You are absolutely right. Starting us first gear and then continuing off. You are absolutely correct, Connor. So, what do we understand, even based upon Connor's observation and his understanding? So, we understand that momentum is built. You are more than welcome. Momentum is built. How is momentum built? Momentum is built by working. Momentum is built by having activity. Momentum is not built by sitting still and doing absolutely nothing. If we go back to Connor's example of a vehicle, of a car, I remember my sister had, I believe it was a 99. Was it a 99? Yeah, a 99 Nissan Altima. And my father, God rest his soul, taught her how to drive a 5-speed manual, right? So she had to shift some gears. Thank you so much, Connor, because you done helped me out tonight, right? Um, he taught her how, and with 5-speed manuals, for those of you all who are not very versed on manual vehicles, right? You have to shift gears, right? So you start out with first gear, then you shift back depending upon how the shift is. It goes back to second gear, up third gear, back fourth gear, then you go to fifth gear, which is the highest gear. But here's the thing, when you first start out, you in first gear, you are going slow. Right? Once you shift it to second gear, you begin to speed up. If you all have ever driven next to semi trucks that have manuals, you can actually hear the truck revving up, right? And each time they shift the gear, the vehicle speeds up. Each time they shift the gear to the highest gear, the vehicle speeds up. That's momentum. That is built. That took work. That took energy. It took effort. Momentum does not happen standing still. So the only way that that vehicle was able to increase in speed is that that driver had to shift the gear back to second. Then it had to shift the gear up to third. You can't go, and here's the powerful part. You can't go if you don't want to jack up your vehicle, you can't go from first gear to fifth gear. And that's what happens with many of us. I believe that's one of the reasons why I know for me, why I got distracted when I first started building my business. Because I wanted to go from first gear all the way to fifth gear. I wanted to start my business today and make a whole lot of money tomorrow. But the reality of it was I was ignorant to it, and I did not understand that it did not work like that. I had to build momentum. I had to build a level of trust with the people that God had called me to serve. And this is the power. I promise y'all, if you understand the power of momentum, momentum is that thing that will keep you going, even if you want to quit. As an example today, a part of one of the things that I do when I work with my clients in the academy is we focus on mindset, and a part of mindset is self-care, because I truly believe that we cannot, and we nor should we, serve others when we're at our lowest. We should not serve people if we're not first serving ourselves by taking care of ourselves. So as evidence of that, I decided to get, because I've been like exercising, right? That's something I do. I consistently eat right. But today I was not feeling it. It was Monday. And I was like, I don't feel like working out. I don't feel like doing this. I don't feel like doing that, right? But I couldn't go by how I felt emotionally. I couldn't go by how I felt. Because if I went by how I felt, guess what? I wouldn't have exercised. But I promise y'all, once I turned on that walk away to pounds, because that's what I use. Shout out to Leslie Sanson. Once I, because she eliminates all excuses, right? But fifth isn't the last. You can change the engine, and that is typically okay. But you get the point, right? So once I turned that music on, baby, I was in it. And after I finished working out, it gave me that boost of energy that I needed to keep going, right? So what am I saying? Momentum, again, is built. It takes energy. It takes effort. Momentum doesn't happen by sitting, by standing. And even when you think about standing and sitting, for those of you all who work retail jobs, you know, if you stand in one place all day, what's going to happen to your feet? Your feet going to start hurting. They're going to start burning. I'm a pharmacist. I used to work retail at Walmart Pharmacy. And as a pharmacist, you are sitting at the screen majority of the day looking and checking off scripts, right? But I promise you, if you stand in that one spot all day standing, your feet going to get tired. Your legs are going to start hurting. Your feet are going to start hurting, because all of that pressure is on that one area. So with momentum, you have to move. There has to be activity. And here's the thing. Momentum works to your advantage, because all of that motion, all of that strength, and here's the thing. This is how it pertains to you moving in your purpose. This is how it pertains to you building the business, building the very idea that God has called you to build. The posting, doing, going live, whatever it is, going to trade shows, speaking at events, going to conventions, educating yourself on your industry. All of that works together. Those series of events, all of that education, all of that posting, and then going out and executing the very thing that you've learned. One of the things, and this is a sidebar, one of the faults, and I'll tell on me because I want to be honest in an effort to help y'all, right? So I remember when, we don't want to delete that. I remember when I started my business, I did the best thing that ever created, and I worked with a coach. Shout out to my first business coach. And it was the greatest decision that I ever made. But let me tell you, what was the worst decision I ever made? I got the content. I got her support. I got her proven tips and strategies for success. And I implemented and I stopped. So what did I do? Remember, momentum, if we go back to the definition, momentum is the strength or the force that is gained. Because here's the thing. With momentum, there is a gain if you use it in the right direction. So it's the strength or the force that is gained or that is built by a series of events or motion. So I started out going to networking events. I started out speaking at events, and then I got another speaking engagement, and then I got distracted because I was paying attention to somebody else's journey and wasn't paying attention to my own. I was focused on the results that they were getting, or the results that it seemed that they were getting based upon my assumption and my perspective, that I got discouraged and stopped because I felt like it wasn't happening fast enough for me as it was for them. But here's the thing, and this is to speak to somebody who struggles with this. Understand that your journey is different from my journey. Just like I had to understand that my journey was different from their journey. Them people may have been staying up for 12, 14 hours. They may have had experience on their side where I didn't. They may have already had a whole bunch of momentum that was building up for their good that I had not built up yet. What was it? Not last week. This month sometime, it wasn't last week, I believe it was the week before last. Gratefully, I hit 500 subscribers on YouTube. Excuse me, on YouTube, right? And let me tell y'all, I'm excited. I'm grateful for that. Because, and I don't minimize that, because one thing I truly understand is that for someone to subscribe, that means they're getting something, right? And one of the things that I understand about any business, product, or service is that people buy from those, and always remember this, in business, people buy from those who they know, those who they like, and those who they trust. So if somebody is, and here's the thing, for someone to subscribe to my channel, they are using their time, okay? Time is more valuable than money. Why? Because you can always go out, buy you a bottle of water, freeze it real good, make it nice and cold. You can buy it for, let's say, if you buy a case, let's say you bought it and it ends up being equivalent to what? Maybe about 50 or 75 cents a bottle. You take that same bottle and you go out and you sell it for $4 to somebody who's thirsty. You made some kind of profit, right? So people buy from those who they know, who they like, and who they trust. And I don't know why I had like a mind blank. But anyway, so when I hit 500 subscribers, I celebrate that because I understand that for people to invest their time to come to my channel, and you're not coming for me, you're coming because you are obtaining something that is benefiting your life. I don't come here to entertain nobody. Now, I may be entertaining at times, but I don't come here to entertain nobody. Right? I come here to share transformational content. So I understand when anybody subscribes to my channel, it's because they have developed a like factor or they have developed a trust factor. That's momentum. That's momentum. Again, that is momentum. Remember, momentum is built. It takes effort. It takes energy. So you have to understand the power of momentum. And here's the thing. Where is my, let's see. Let me get my marker. Hold on, y'all. Okay. So let's just say, let me just go here. And I'm gonna try to make this. Okay, so y'all can see this. All right. So let me tell you how momentum works for your good when it comes down to entrepreneurship and building a business. Okay. Let me move this out of the way. Okay. So let's just say you first start your business. This is day one, right? And you're posting, right? Let's say you're posting, you're sharing content, you're sharing valuable content. And on day one, you don't see any growth. Right? You're starting right here. You don't see any growth. Okay? But remember, the definition of momentum is the strength or the force that is gained by a series of events or motion. Remember, momentum, high page, momentum takes work. It takes energy. It takes exertion. It takes work. Okay, so when it comes down to building your business, if you all haven't, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel and make sure you share, right? So day one, when you first get started on your business, it's just like sowing a seed in the ground. You put that seed in the ground. Initially, you don't see no results. But if this is day one and this is let's say, and y'all probably can't see this. Hold on. Okay. And this is whatever the month is or whatever the day is. Initially, you may not see any, but the more you post, the more you go to events, the more you learn, eventually momentum is going to work for you. I'm a horrible illustrator when it comes down to drawing. But I want you all to understand, at first, you may not see anything. You may not see your efforts working for your good initially. If you're a content creator and you are posting and you are sharing and you are going live, you may not see the effects. And here's the thing. Social media has changed so much. Before, on Facebook and stuff like that, all you had to do was post and everybody who was your friend saw all of your content. Now you're working with algorithms. But here's the thing about algorithms, okay, that I'm learning. Algorithms work off of consistency. Algorithms work off of interaction. Algorithms work off of activity. Remember, again, momentum. Momentum is built, right? It takes energy. Momentum is the strength or the force that is gained by a series of events or motion. So you can't expect to get a result if you don't start somewhere and continue. It's just like investing. If you all have ever seen that curve, initially they tell you the sooner you start investing your money at the earliest age, the more money you will gain compared to somebody who starts later in the game. Why? Because momentum works for us. So when you talk about your purpose, when you talk about your business, you don't want to give up. You may give up right here. If this is the bottom and this is the top, if you give up right here, you don't know when that shift is going to come and you're going to skyrocket. You don't know when that person is going to see your content and they're influential and they're going to share it, or they're going to tag you, or they're going to tell people about you. You don't know who somebody's going to encounter and they're going to mention your name. They're going to mention the experience that they had by working with you. But if you stop in the middle of the activity, if you stop in the middle of building momentum, guess what? You're going to have to start all over. That's one thing about momentum. If you stop while you're building, you're going to have to start all over. And you're looking at somebody who did the same thing. I'm teaching y'all what I did so that you can make better decisions. Even if you don't see what you want to see in your business, even if you don't see what you want to see concerning your weight loss, ask yourself, is this a part of the journey? That's one of the things that you have to understand. Nobody told me that at first when you start your business, you may get sales, but after a while, if you aren't positioned and people don't know you, you're going to hear crickets. You got to get great at marketing. It may not happen for you as fast as you desire. But here's the thing. Again, momentum. You may start down here, but if you don't give up, guess what? The results are going to come. The results are going to work for you. But you have to do the work. You have to exert the energy. You have to post. You have to go live. You have to share content. You have to identify what your ideal customers and clients are struggling with, what they want, what they need in order for them to get to the results that they desire. Create a product, create an idea, and share with them that you are the solution. But here's the thing, they don't know you yet. And remember, going back to, I don't know who coined this, I'm going to have to find it. But remember, people buy based on those who they know, who they like, and who they trust. If people don't know you, if people don't know the experience, they don't know the success stories, they don't know how you can help them, if they don't know you, they're not going to buy from you 9 times out of 10. Why do y'all think? I'm going to give y'all a prime example. If you have ever been on social media And if you're anything like me, I'm going to use me as an example. I go on whenever I go on Facebook, there is, and because I've searched for clothes, right? There is this particular company's ad that pops up on my feed, right? And it wasn't a bad thing because I liked the clothes. I clicked on the page, and I ain't even done yet. I'm gonna get done, y'all. I clicked on their page. Guess what? Every time I go on every time I go on Facebook, I see their social media ad. Why? Because even the the social media machine, I'm saying machine, but y'all get what I'm saying, understands that this woman needs to see this company some more. It needs to see more products that it has. So it's going to pop up on my feed very often. What is it? Shin, it pops up on my feed often because I always click on their ads. So they're going to continue to show me, excuse me, more of those ads with the effort of me getting to know them, liking them, and trusting them. So let momentum work for you, not against you. Again, if you are starting your business, understand momentum takes a series of activities over a span of time that work together to produce a result. So in other words, you can't expect to sow the seed today, to put the content out there, and 1,000 people subscribe to your YouTube channel. If that has happened for other people, one, they have already created a following somewhere else, and those people follow them. Two, they may have bought subscribers, didn't know that it was a thing, found out that was a thing. Okay? All right. So we talked about momentum. Okay? So number 2, how do you rebuild your momentum after you have lost it? Number 2, identify why you lost your momentum. If you started writing the book, if you started the business and you stopped, ask yourself the question, why? I share with you all, for me, I got distracted at one point because I was looking at the success stories that somebody else was sharing, how much money they were making, not all in their business, not knowing all of their business, making assumptions, right? I was making assumptions and I didn't even know all of the background stuff that these people were doing. It all was a distraction. So identify why you got off course anyway. Identify why you lost your momentum. And here's the thing. The Bible tells us we have not because we ask not. Identify why you stopped writing the book. Identify why you stopped building the business. Did you get discouraged? That's simple. Understand that that's a part of the process. Was somebody negative? Understand this. And this is just a sidebar. Understand that a lot of the times people are negative when they see you moving in your purpose or you doing the right thing, because you moving in your purpose and you doing what is right shines the light on them by the grace of God to show them where they have fallen short. So don't get discouraged because people can be negative. That's just the reality. That's what people do. Not that they should, but they do it. Because they rather talk you out of it so that they won't be convicted of what they ain't doing, than to see you moving in it, which shines the light more on them to show them where they have fallen short. And if they opened up their eyes, they'll realize by the grace of God, he's giving them an opportunity to say, hey, it's time to get it together. Okay, so identify why you lost your momentum. 9 times out of 10, as I stated, you got distracted by something. And some of the distractions may have been valid. You may have been grieving. You may have suffered some type of loss. But identify why. And here's the thing. Prepare a plan for even when distractions come. And this leads me into number 3. And I'm almost done because I didn't want to stay on here this long. But hey, God is amazing. So here's the thing. Here's your plan. This is a part of my plan. Identify number 3. In order for you to rebuild your momentum, identify your why. I share this story because it's very real. I remember in my mid 20s, I had my first entrepreneurial experience in a network marketing company, what you all may know as multi-level marketing company, right? And I remember when they used to call it uplines. So I remember when my upline brought me into the business, she asked me this question, and I was probably about 25. So she asked me, well, why are you joining the company? Why do you want to build this business? And for me, being who I was at the time, I was like, hey, I want to make some money. I want to be successful, right? It was very one-sided. It was all about me. Okay, that was the downfall, and that's another subject for another day. But she told me, she said, it has to be bigger than that. Because she said, when you're disappointed, when you're not seeing the results that you want to see, you have to have something that's going to keep you in the game. So if you want to really boost your momentum and get back to writing the book, or get back to building the business, or get back to the nonprofit organization, I challenge you to ask yourself, why do you? Why do you want to write this book? Who are you writing the book for? What result will they obtain from reading your book? What solution do you provide with your product or your service? Identify your why. If it's your children, how will you pursuing your purpose benefit your children? The Bible tells us that a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. So I, as a woman, as a child of God, as a mother, have a responsibility to position not just my children, but my children's children for wealth. So it goes so much deeper. And that's why your why has to go deep. You can't be surface level like I was, that was just thinking, okay, I wanted to build a business because I wanted to make money. Now, sure, that's a huge benefit. Okay? Making money is a huge benefit. But ask yourself the question, what can or what will I do with the money? What will you do with the money? Who will the money help? Well, Dr. JaNee, I want a big house. Okay, so when you make the money and you buy the big house, then what are you going to do with the money? If you're anything like me, you want to make sure twofold. One of the things that I, as a believer, my goal is not to just go to church, but to be the representation of Jesus Christ in the earth, in the marketplace, period. In this earth, period. To be the light, right? So the scripture, and the way that I do that, and the way that I'm learning that, is by reading and studying the word of God and applying it to my life. So as the scripture says, that a good man or woman leaves an inheritance for his children's children. So the money, the wealth that my husband and I are building are not just for our children. It goes deeper. It's for their children. That means from a financial wealth perspective, because wealth is more than money. But from a financial wealth perspective, that means that I have to build an investment portfolio that is so big that even after our children experience it, their children can experience and live off of the wealth that my husband and I have created. That is a responsibility. So my business is not just for me. My business is one of the avenues that God has given me to build an inheritance so that our children's children will benefit from it. That's a why. That's something that far exceeds me just wanting to make money. That's very surfaced. Or me just wanting to vacation. That's all about me again. But what will the money do? My biggest why, I think about Jesus, I think about Jeremiah, I think about the Apostle Paul. And while I'm not anybody's minister, I think about the call. The Bible tells us in Jeremiah 1, and he tells Jeremiah, before I formed you in the womb of your mother's belly, I knew you. That speaks to me on so many levels. But the biggest revelation that God gave me is that our purpose is not a choice. I don't choose my purpose. I didn't choose my purpose. God gave me my purpose even before he formed me in my mother's womb. I didn't have a choice. He gave it to me. Just like your purpose, you didn't choose that. He gave it to you. And one of the things that I always, this is a perspective that I share as a leader. Let's say for those of you all who are managers, supervisors, leaders of companies, and you send your employees or your team out on a task to complete. Only for them, and you give them all of the instructions, you tell them what they have to do, only for them to come back to you, only for them to come back to you empty-handed with no effects. And they're looking at you like, we didn't get it done. And your question is why? I sent you out with the tools. I sent you out with everything it was that you needed to get the job done. And even if you did not feel prepared, you should have come back to me as your leader to ask me for help and support, since I'm the very one who sent you. I want you to think about God, who gave you your purpose, who formed you in your mother's womb, called you to do whatever your purpose is, whatever your gift is in this earth, only for you to die. See him at the gates of heaven. And I'm not sure that this is exactly how it happens. But you see God, and he looks at you and asks you the question, why didn't you fulfill the very purpose that I created you for? Think about that. You can, and I can't speak for God, but from my perspective, and my perspective may be skewed, but if I formed you for this and I sent you out there to do it and you didn't do it, that's a slap in my face. It's a whole slap in my face. That's my why. I love my husband. I love our children. But I got to do the very thing that God created me to do. Why? Because one, he mandated for me to do it. And here's the second thing. The Bible tells us, teach a child in the way that they should go. And when they get older, they won't depart from it. If my children see my husband and I walking in our purpose, and here's the thing, I always say that children learn more by demonstration than they do conversation. We can talk them to life. And here's the thing, he that has ears to hear, they can hear. But it's something about seeing it implemented. It's something about you gave me the instructions, and then I see you do it. It puts it together to make it make sense. So you can tell me all day long, but what brings clarity and understanding is observing you implement the very instructions that you told me to do. So if our children see us moving in our purpose, it then triggers them to say, you know what? The Bible did say that in Jeremiah, that before he formed him in his mother's womb, he knew him and he called him to be a prophet. Well, I see my mom and my daddy move in their purpose. They see the illustration of it. That's what keeps me up. It's 10:15 Eastern Standard Time. And I'll be honest with y'all and totally transparent. I'm the entrepreneur that thank God for my employer's income to me is how I fund my business. I'm married. I am a mom, and I work a full-time job, and I'm also working with a friend of mine, and we're starting a nonprofit. Well, we have started a nonprofit. And why am I staying up this late doing the work? Because I know it's not about me. I got to fulfill the purpose on my life. Do I feel like going live? Do I feel like doing a lot of the stuff that I need to do for my business? To be honest, no. And I promise, if you asked a lot of successful people, they finished the Olympics in the summer. And I promise, I'm sure if you ask all of those athletes, did you feel like going to train every day that you train? Did you feel like eating right based on the plan that they gave you? I'm sure all of them would tell you absolutely not. But they were focused on the goal. So allow momentum to fuel you. Ask yourself the question why you lost your momentum the last time, and use your why to keep you focused so that when the distractions come again, you stay the course. I appreciate you all for joining me. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel, click the link below and get your free gift. I appreciate you all. And until next time, know your worth. Good night, y'all. Bye.